ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्यं नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत-सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी आराध्यो भगवान् व्रजेशतनयस्तद्धाम वृन्दावनम् रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधूवर्गेण वा कल्पितम् श्रीमद्भागवतं प्रमाणममलं प्रेमापुमार्थो महान् श्रीचैतन्यमहाप्रभुर्मतमिदं तत्रादरानापरा नमो ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन् इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear Vaishnavas, for joining. We are going to summarize this chapter 35 in the Bhagavatam, Canto 10, called Yugal Geet. There are multiple Geet, 5 Geet songs by the gopis, primarily in the mood of separation. But this Yugal Geet is after the Rasa Leela. There are some during the Rasa Leela, some immediately after Rasa Leela, and then there is Brahma Gita. There is also Venu Gita. All are in the mood of separation from the Lord. But there is some differences also, like we were discussing the flavors in the ice cream. So we'll do a quick recap of this chapter. In the last class, we requested to study the translations. I hope some of you got to do that. And we'll quickly summarize the chapter, and then we will take some lessons also. In case you missed any verse, this will be a quick recap. So Shukdev Goswami begins this chapter by mentioning that how when Krishna went to the forest, so that's how the Viraha is happening. After the Rasa Leela, the day has begun, and Krishna is going to the forest, and different things are happening in the forest. He's playing with the cowherd boys, he's playing with the cows, he's playing with Balramji, etc. But what are the gopis doing? The gopis, their mind would run after him. Tam anudritya chetasa. They're continuously chasing him. And they are continually thinking of him. So, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentioned that in the daytime, the gopis would have the fire of separation, the heat of separation of Krishna. And in the night time, they would have the coolness or coolness of the direct enjoyment of the rasa with Krishna in the moonlight. And in the sun, they would have the heat of separation. Both are transcendental. In material world, it may appear temporary, it may appear, dualities may appear, but in the Krishna Lila, it is all transcendental. So the gopis now sing 24 verses or 12 pairs of verses. And they are talking to one another. They're talking to Mother Yashoda. They're talking to amongst themselves, because that's what Vaishnavas do. Mad-chitta mad-gata prana bodhayanta parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. The tongue has the urge to talk, but if we talk mundane stuff, it will lead to nothing good much comes out of it. Only our energy, precious energy goes. But when we use the same tongue to glorify Krishna, to serve each other, to help each other, to connect each other to Krishna, then it leads to happiness. And all the shoka, moha, bhaya goes away. So the gopis are singing this song, and basically all the verses are talking about what Krishna does in the first verse and what is the impact. So in the first set of, or first pair, they're talking about how it impacts the Siddha lokas. When Krishna starts vibrating his flute, he's so beautiful, he's so amazing. His cheek, his arm, his every, there is a lot of description in this chapter about the beauty of the Lord. His lips, his cheeks, his face, his eyebrows, his shoulder, his neck, etc. His tender fingers. A lot of description, detailed description. God is a person. And then what happens? The residents of Siddhaloka, not only the ladies but even the men, they become desire to associate with the Lord because he's the topmost, he's the most beautiful, he's the most enchanting, he's Madana Mohana. He enchants even the Cupid, Madana. What to speak of Siddhaloka? Now the gopis continue and say, what to speak of the residents of Siddhaloka? Not only those, but the animals like the bulls, the cows, the deers, etc. What happens? Now imagine, has many of us may fall asleep during japa. I am no, don't. I am one of them. Many of us may have fallen asleep during a class. Again, even during kirtan, me too. I have all the certificates but anyone has fallen kind of like there is gulab jamun in their mouth and they forgot to chew it or whatever they like. Like there's samosa in their mouth and they forgot to chew it. Has anyone experienced that in their life? And they're like they kind of unconscious or they just lost where they are. Has anyone of you experienced that? That your favorite delicacy is in your mouth and you just are lost in something else. I have not experienced that. But here the cows are chewing, the calves are drinking the milk from the mother's udders. But they're so mesmerized, so adbhuta rasa they are experiencing when they hear the flute, the Venu of Krishna, they stop chewing. They're like stunned, they're paused, as if asleep. This is what Shukdev Goswami is mentioning. Stunned as if they're asleep, like figures in a painting. They're not moving, right? They're not moving their mouth. They stop chewing the food in their mouth and cock their ears. They're so, Krishna's sound is so enchanting. So, a lesson here is that if we also, Krishna's flute is there for everyone. But why can't we hear? Because we have so much noise within. So much noise within. A beautiful example coming to my mind, which some devotee was explaining in Vrindavan. One devotee went and stayed for a few days. And the other person with whom he was staying, and they spent the day in, visiting different temples and prasadam and darshan, all that stuff. They came back in the night. And of course, in the day, like rickshaw wala, sabji wala, so many, vendors, so many things, radhe radhe, yelelo, bolelo, so many things going on. And then they came in the night, and after a few days, the guest told the host, you know what? There's a temple very far, quite far, almost a kilometer or like half a mile away. But they do like whole night they do kirtan. And the host who was from the area, he said they don't only do the kirtan in the night, they do 24/7. But the commotion, the noise outside does not let us hear the sound, the sound of Krishna's flute, the holy name in the day. So similarly, what's the lesson here? That when the mind is peaceful, the mind is able to think better, perform better. And I shared one video with most of you. I'm not sure if you got a chance to hear. Basically, it was like a modern video, but our Shastras explain so well that how the time of the morning, the Brahma Muhurta hours are so potent. And we were discussing this yesterday also, that one intelligent person, every intelligent person must utilize that time, that precious morning hours, whether it's 4 to 8, 5 to 8, depending upon your schedule and things in office work, etc., school, kids. But we all have that morning a good 3, 4 hours, 2, 3 hours. And if it's like a gift, it's free, it's available. All we have to do is access Krishna's grace. And then we'll be able to tune ourselves to hear the sound of Krishna, the sound of Krishna's flute. And may it also stun our life, so that our mind is not carried in the wrong direction. There are so many temptations in this world, so many allurements in this world. It's not easy to perform bhakti. Hmm. But if we sincerely practice and tune ourselves, right? Like the FM frequency is there, but we have to tune to hear that it will only run on, like, let's say 102.7, right? It won't run good on other channels. It will run only on that. So our frequency is 108.0, right? So when we tune ourselves properly, we'll be able to hear, we'll be able to understand, absorb, our mind will become clear, our ability to respond to situations all happen. Sarve gunai tattva samasate sura. When we take part in the and tune ourselves to Krishna consciousness, we will be not, we will have like a, as the Bhagavad Gita explains, Padma Patra Ivambasa. Be in this world but not of this world, like lotus. Lotus has a slimy kind of lamination. It's in the kichad, it's in the muddy waters. But even that muddy waters does not impact the beauty. It is not able to fade away the beauty of lotus. Because even a drop, of mud, it will just like imagine a color, nice color print with lamination. Even water, dust, anything falls over it, just wipe, it will be clean. But without lamination, it will damage the print. So bhakti is that lamination, bhakti is that vaccination, bhakti, the sound of Krishna's flute, the sound of the holy name, is that which will help us, which is enchanting the Siddhalokas, the bulls, the deers, and not only those, even the rivers stop flowing. It's mentioned the rivers stop flowing. They are not able to get to the ocean. Uh, the water is stunned. So the impact on the rivers. What to speak of the rivers? Even the non-moving trees, it's mentioned, even the trees are still, right? And what are they doing? The trees and the creepers pour down a rain of sweet sap, like the white color sap. Everyone is expressing their love to Krishna. What do the clouds do? The clouds are showering rains. The cranes and the birds, everyone is enchanted by Krishna's flute. Hmm. So what do? They close their eyes and maintaining strict silence, worshipping him by fixing their consciousness upon him in deep meditation. Bako Dhyanam, specifically these birds like cranes and swans, if you have noticed them, they are known for their dhyan, right? They are known for their dhyan, but their dhyan means focus, meditation, but they stand on one leg. If you have ever seen this crane stand on one leg, baka, and they are trying to catch the fish as if they're stationary, like still. And then as soon as the fish comes, they'll like quickly grab it. So this is how a devotee can also learn to be focused. And as soon as when the opportunity comes, not for fishing, but to um, use our senses in service of the Lord, we use it the best way we can. And things which are not conducive, we let go. We stay focused. So learnings from this green episode. Then the clouds. Krishna is with Balramji doing different leela. What do the clouds do? The clouds are covering the sun because it's hot in the daytime in Vrindavan, especially in the summers. It's quite hot. Um, so the clouds form an umbrella to give Krishna a shelter. Now he's the one who gives everyone shelter, but it's the reciprocation of love and devotion. Now, like this, everyone is offering their best. Everyone is doing their best in the service of the Lord, and that brings us to text number 18 and 19, which are my favorites. What is happening in these verses, actually from 20 onwards? Yeah, text 20. So Krishna, okay, yes, it's in 18 and 19. 18 and 19 is that verse which I kind of shared with all of you earlier also. That picture, did everyone get chance to see that picture? The Krishna with the cows. I'm referring to this one. Let me again share that. So this is the picture which is describing text number 18 and 19. Thanks to AI for generating that picture. So what's happening in this? Krishna is counting. What is he counting? He's counting on jewel beads all his groups of cows. There are 108 groups of cows. He's calling out, Oh Dhavali, Hamsa, Simhamukhi, Chandni, Ganga, Mukta, Kumkuma, Saraswati, Pita. So there are groups of yellow cows, Pita. There are groups of black cows, Shama. There are groups of red cow, Kumkuma, etc. There are groups of white cows, Ganga, etc. And then there are special cows which have different features like Simhamukhi, Mridangamukhi, etc. So Krishna is calling and he's counting. Like we count Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. We move it next. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So Krishna is counting those groups and they come closer. When Krishna counts, Krishna calls and counts, devotees come closer to him. When devotee calls Krishna and counts, Krishna comes closer. Ye tamam prapadyante tam sataya bhajamyaham. And what happens? Why is Krishna counting? Very, very beautiful. Acharyas mentioned because Krishna does not want anyone to be left out in the forest. Krishna loves his devotee so much. So when we also call Krishna's name, Krishna will assure that we are not left out in this forest of material world. Samsara dava naralidha loka. This is a forest fire going on here. How can he leave? He's our father, mother, friend, brother, husband, wife, everything. How can he leave us? He's the most here. So he's counting. And the more we count his name, the more he'll be inclined also to make sure so it's a very, very beautiful and one of my favorite verses in this chapter, actually, and how it shows the mutual loving reciprocation between the Lord and his devotees. I hope you relished that. Now, the next verse, the gopis reach the house of Mother Yashoda and call out, Oh Anaga, you are sinless. Now, the mood of Mother Yashoda, she's worried. Now, imagine your dear friend, husband, wife, son, daughter, grandson, whatever relation you have with a dear one, and you expect them to be at home. They say, "Oh, I'm going for grocery. I'll be back in 20 minutes." And now 2 hours have gone and it's getting dark, it's getting late. They were supposed to be back around 6:30 p.m. It's now 8 p.m. They're not yet back. You're trying to call them, they're not answering. Won't you be worried? What happened to my husband? What happened to my wife? What happened to my son, daughter? And they're not reachable also. Oh my God, Krishna, please protect them. I hope they're okay. I hope they're safe. Mother Yashoda is thinking like that because Krishna has not returned yet. And then all the gopis come, Paradukha Dukhi, and try to pacify Mother. You are sinless. Don't worry. You are, piety personified. Krishna, the son of Nanda Maharaj, who is such a righteous king. Those parents, those people who follow the righteous path, how can bad things come to them or their children? So the other lesson which Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions, we see that children fall into danger only when parents have bad karma. Therefore, no danger can befall on your son. So when parents do bad karma, it will also impact the children. And we see that in India, US, parents do bad things and it impacts the children. It will certainly impact the kind of association they will get, the kind of samskara children will get. What do we expect? In a neem tree, we can't expect mangoes to grow. Huh? So, but the gopis are assuring that the children will be back. Oh, you know what? What happened? Oh, these Upadevas, these Gandharvas come and they start glorifying Krishna. Someone is playing Kartal, Mridanga, and they are all having a nice kirtan there. And then they're trying to pacify Mother Yashoda to kind of console her that your child will be back soon. But Mother Yashoda is very, very anxious, very, very anxious because her love for Krishna is unparalleled. And this continues. They give multiple other reasons. Oh, Brahma, Shiva, it must have come. And how can Krishna say no to them, right? These dignitaries have come, and like someone important person comes to your home. Even if you had to go out to, you can't just say, hey, I'm in a hurry, I'm leaving. Come again later, right? So, so these people must have come. He will be back. And then he said, oh, the tallest gopi, please go to the watchtower, see. Because like with the binoculars, the tallest gopi, go watch, see where is my child coming. And when the dust of the hoofs of the cow, when hundreds of cows and calves are moving, what happens? A dust cloud is created in Vrindavan. Very, very auspicious time. And that's how the gopis would connect. And of course, the flute and the dust cloud. They would see both and they hear and see and then say, oh, Krishna is almost back on his way. And their joy would have no bound because now Krishna will be back. So like that, they are relishing Krishna Katha with each other. The word used is Gopya Uchu, plural. And then finally, they are all having this conversation. And finally, in the late evening, during the daytime, these ladies' minds were completely absorbed by thinking of Krishna, meditating of Krishna, thinking of his beauty, form, features, nama, rupa, guna, lila, etc. And that's how they would pass their day. And then they would have the cool. So this is how the heat of separation in the daytime, followed by the cooling moonlight of association of Krishna in the night. So this is like a quick summary with some lessons. Now I would like all of you to share some thoughts, some comments, and I'm very grateful to Mother Sucharya Mataji. Thank you so much for joining and blessing all of us with your association. We are very grateful to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you.
Anyone has any thoughts, comments? Mother Sucharya, would you like to share something? You're tolerating my my broken words.
It was a beautiful explanation of separation from Krishna, meeting with Krishna. Very, very beautiful. And I liked all the examples you used. It was very personal. Krishna is a person. And I remember when we first joined the temple, it was Toronto, Canada. And we were just Canadians. We didn't know anything about Vedic culture. So the Kṛṣṇa book came out, and we were just amazed at how beautiful Kṛṣṇa was. And Prabhupada said, the more you hear about Kṛṣṇa, the more you start to love him. So thank you for bringing all that. Thank you, Haribol.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing and repeating those words. The more you hear about Krishna, the more you start loving him. So beautiful. Thank you. Anyone else wants to share any comments? Anything struck you? Any lessons? Anything special from this chapter you liked?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yeah, thank you for nice explanation for the brief summary of this chapter. This is so beautiful. And I was thinking that how Krishna is yours start with that Krishna is a Madan Mohan, right? He attracts the cupids. And we are attracted towards this very mean happiness in this material world. And I remind that the Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying that don't go to the Keshi Ghat and don't see the two-handed form of Lord Krishna. If you see that beautiful form of Krishna, you will lose all the interest in this material world. You will all the friends and relatives, you will lose all the interest in them. So I mean, that reminds me one story I heard from Keshava Swami. He was telling that this is an incident, actually, it's not about a story. He was on the book distribution and he saw one person who is selling the Little Krishna DVDs. And and he said, so that catches his attention, and he went there and he asked that, do you know who is this? And he says that, no, I don't know. But he was telling that he is a Superman. I watched him on the YouTube, and he was explaining all the leelas of Krishna, like how he kills the bird demon, the Bakasur and Dhenukasur and Putana and Aristasura, and he was telling all this story. And he says that I actually like this boy. I mean, he is like a Superman. He is he was very attracted. So he was saying that if you don't know about that who Krishna is, and you haven't seen that how about anything heard about Krishna, and if you just see the just a video, right, like little Krishna is an animation, but you got so attracted, that is a power of Krishna. Krishna is so attractive, and he catches all the attention. So as you're saying, I like the point that you are mentioning that all the in the spiritual world in Vrindavan, everyone becomes so stunned by seeing the Krishna's beauty when he was playing the flute and anything like about Krishna. Why don't we are like so we are not so attracted towards Krishna? In the Bhagavatam, there is a verse is saying that because our heart is rusted, and we have to rust off lust. So we have to just remove. That's why we are chanting Hare Krishna. We are calling Krishna, that you can purify ourselves, and then we can see the Krishna's beauty. We can relish that beauty. So yeah, thank you so much, Prabhuji, for this explaining. And while you are explaining these things, that comes in my mind. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Preeti Mataji, for your thoughtful comments and reflections. Anyone else has any thoughts, comments before we move on to the next chapter? Okay.
I wanted to say a quick story about the Kṛṣṇa book, if that's okay.
Yes, absolutely, Mother, please.
Okay, so we were all teenagers and we were living in the Toronto temple, and I was not initiated yet, but one devotee was traveling all over North America, South America, distributing cases and cases of Kṛṣṇa book. So he came to Toronto, and we were all doing book distribution at that time. We would follow the morning program, have a wonderful breakfast, and then go out to Young Street to distribute back to Godheads. That's all we had was back to Godheads. So this devotee said, okay, after Sankirtan and book distribution, I want the cook to make popcorn with ghee and hot milk, and I'm going to read Kṛṣṇa book to you, just to show you how beautiful Kṛṣṇa is. So then we all came back, we all went to the prasadam room, and the devotee started reading. You'll never guess what story he chose. Any guesses? He chose the story of Usha and Aniruddha, Krishna's grandson. So he started reading the story, and it's about Banasura, who has all these thousands of arms, and then about his beautiful daughter, and then his daughter has a dream about Aniruddha, and then her friend is a mystic yogini, so she finds the person that Usha's dreaming about, and so then it's a whole romantic story, and Chitralekha, her friend, actually kidnaps Aniruddha from his palace and brings him all the way to Usha. So they're living together, and Usha's father does not know what's happening. So then the guards notice that Usha looks like she's pregnant, and it's a whole big deal. And we're all like neophyte devotees not knowing what's happening. So after the story, the temple president and the temple commander had a discussion. And the temple commander said, well, this sounds like a lot of Maya to me. I mean, they lived together and they weren't married, and, you know, it doesn't sound very Krishna conscious. And so the temple president said, are you trying to tell us that Krishna's grandson is in Maya? And so they had like a fight almost, you know, it wasn't a fist fight, but it was, you know, pretty heated. So then the devotees started talking, and they just decided that Krishna and Krishna's family were transcendental, and that we had no business judging, you know, Krishna's family. So just the beauty of Kṛṣṇa book and us learning about Kṛṣṇa and these wonderful stories, and we were all becoming personalists after being impersonalists for so long. So I just wanted to share that. Thank you. I thought it was really funny when they started arguing. Anyhow, thank you.
Yeah, for sharing those memories and those beautiful stories. Okay, so now this brings us to chapter 36. So we'll just do a quick summary today, which is in the beginning of the chapter. So would anyone like to read the summary? The chapter is entitled The Slaying of Arishta, or Aristasura, the demon Arishta, the bull demon. Anyone wants to read the story?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, I can read. The slaying of Arishta, the bull demon. This chapter describes how Krishna killed Aristasura and how Kṛṣṇa reacted when he learned from Narad that Krishna and Balram were the sons of Vasudeva. The demon Arishta wanted to kill Krishna and Balrama, and thus he assumed the form of a huge bull with sharp horns. Everyone in Krishna's cowherd village became terrified when Aristasura approached it, but the Lord pacified them. And when the bull demon charged him, he seized him by the horns and threw him about 6 yards. Though weakened, Arishta still wanted to attack Krishna. Thus, dripping with sweat, he charged the Lord once again. This time, Krishna grabbed his horns, threw him to the ground, and thrashed him like a pile of wet clothing. The demon vomited blood and gave up his life. Then Krishna and Rama, while being honored by the demigods and cowherd boys, returned to the village. A short time later, Narad Muni, the great sage among the demigods, came to see King Kamsa. He informed the king that Krishna and Balrama were not Nanda's son, but rather Vasudev's. It was out of fear of Kṛṣṇa and that Vasudeva had put the 2 boys under Nanda's care. Furthermore, said Narad, Kamsa would meet his death at their hands. Kans shook with fear and anger when he heard all this, and in great agitation he began thinking of how to destroy Krishna and Balrama. He called for the demons Chanura and Mushtika and instructed them to kill the two brothers in a wrestling match. Then he spoke to Akrura, who was expert at executing his duties. Taking Akrura by the hand, Kams persuaded him to go to Vraja to bring the two boys to Mathura. Akrura agreed to carry out Kamsa's order and then returned home. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji, for reading this summary of chapter 36, which has how many verses? 40 verses. So we're beginning a new chapter. And we have some time, so we can read a couple of verses. This is the story of Aristasura, the bull demon. Krishna killed him. And then there is the beginning of how Akrura, the uncle, comes to invite Krishna and Balaram to Mathura for the wrestling match. Anyone wants to read the first text? Shri Mataji, on in front.
Yes, Prabhuji. There might be background noise. Srimad-Bhāgavatam, Srimad-Bhāgavatam, attain tasya gustamaristo vrishabhasurah, mahimaka mahimaha kakutsayah, samkayan puravikshatam. Translation by Sri Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada. Shukadeva Goswami said, the demon Arishta then came to the cowherd village. Appearing in the form of a bull with a large hump, he made the earth tremble as he tore it apart with his hoof. According to Sri Vishnu Puran, Aristasura entered Krishna's village at twilight as the Lord prepared to dance with the gopis. Produsarate kadachittu rasasakte janardane krāṣayan samadogostham arishta sampagatah. Once midway through the period of dusk, when Lord Janardana was eager to perform the ras dance, Aristasura madly entered the cowherd village, terrifying everyone. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So what's happening in this verse? This demon, Aristasura, so Sri Badarayana. So who is Badarayana? Shukadeva Goswami.
Shukadeva
So Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur mentions that the killing of Aristasura and Kamsa's contemplation of the necessity of destroying Krishna and Balaram after he learned about that they are the sons of Vasudeva. Tarahi, then Krishna began his Raslila in the evening time. And that's what is mentioned in the twilight. So what time did Aristasura appeared? In the twilight, like late evening, you can say. Where Krishna goes to meet the gopis in the Ashta Kaliya Leela. It was mentioned from evening about 8:24 to 10:48 p.m. Lord Janardana was eager to perform the rasa dance, but this mad demon Aristasura entered the cowherd village, terrifying everyone. Krishna and devotees give joy to everyone, but mad people like Aristasura give terror to everyone. This is a beautiful lesson that we are in ISKCON. We should always try to be part of solution. As it's famously said, if you can't be part of solution, you at least don't be part of the problem. So we should see how can we be part of solution. And if we're not part of the solution, then you're part of the problem. So Aristasura was trying to cause terror, terrifying everyone. So Madho Goshtam, he was maddened, madly entered in the evening time or late evening time. Therefore, the word atha is spoken here to present a different idea in contrast to the mood. So just imagine the mood was like a festival is about to begin. Rasa Leela is a festival. Krishna's Leela, everything is a festival. But suddenly when you use the word but, atha, like the festival was about to begin and here comes this terrible monster, right? Therefore, the word atha is used next. Atha tarahi agataha, at that very moment, when it was time for the festival of Rasa Leela, or also called as the time is called Pradosha Kala. In Vrindavan, these times are divided into 8 parts, right? In the morning is called Nishanta Leela, Nisha Anta, from almost 3:36 to 6 a.m. Nisha Anta. So Krishna wakes up in the groves of Vrindavan with Radharani. And this day also, Nidhivan and all, you can, people, no one stays there at the night time because Krishna is with Radharani there, Nidhivan. So the Nisha Anta, Nisha ka ant ho raha hai. Night is coming to an end and Krishna returns back to Nand Bhavan before everyone else gets up. Mother Yashoda thinks Krishna is sleeping, but Krishna is with the gopis. These are little esoteric pastimes. But then comes the morning time from 6 to 8:30. In the morning called Prata Leela, where Krishna bathes, dresses, Mother Yashoda is bathing him with doing Abhishek, right? We do Abhishek on Janmashtami or special occasions. So Krishna, Mata Yashoda is bathing with Panchagavya, with milk, yogurt, etc., honey and cow dung and cow urine and etc., cleansing, making different kinds of breakfast items, lunch items, and dressing him and putting dots, gopi dots, and beautifully that Leela is going on, Prata Leela. Then comes the forenoon, Purvahana, from 8:24 to 10:48. If you notice, these are the 48-minute periods because 48 minutes periods. What is the significance of 48? Anyone knows? One Mahurata is 48 minutes. Let me just double check.
I think 48 is right, Prabhuji.
Yes. So yes, one Mahurata is 48 minutes. The Brahma Muhurta basically is 2 periods. So it basically starts from 2 Muhurtas before the sunrise. So about 1.5, 96 minutes. So generally around 4:30, 4:35, depends on the area. So if you notice, these are like periods of about, so how many, if the Ashtakaliya Leela, right, and each period is 48 minutes. Now a math question. So how many Muhurtas are there in the whole day? Which is 24 hours. How many Muhurtas will be there in the whole day? 24 times 60 divided by 48, right? That's 30. Is everyone with me? Not a hard question, right? 24 hours. How many Muhurtas will be there? 24 times 60 divided by 48. And 24, 48 easily, you get 30. So 30 Muhurtas are there, which are divided into 8 parts, as we are talking about. So the Prata Leela, then forenoon Leela. What does forenoon? Krishna goes to the Vrindavan and other forests and playing with cowherds and taking cows. Then comes the Madhyana Leela or midday. What is Krishna doing here? He's enjoying the water sports, right? So he's having lunch in the forest. Mother Yashoda has packed different things. He's having lunch and killing demons also if every afternoon. And then he's enjoying water sports, right? Lunch में खा पी के थोड़ा सा rest भी किया and little rest, and then he is in different caves of Vrindavan doing different pastimes and water sports. So he's having gala time and like picnic with his friends. Now comes the Apaharana Leela, or the afternoon from 3:30 to 6. And this is the period of like the Godhuli also. About 6 p.m. Krishna is returning to Vrindavan, to his home, with the cows, with the friends. Then comes the Shamalila, or sorry, the Shayana. In the evening we do Shayana Arti, right? In the afternoon there is Bhoga Arti. So everything is very, in the morning there is Darshana Arti. So these timings are also in those slots, and these slots are not, I or someone made it. It's as per the Shastra, it's eternally happening, and that's why the periods, Prabhupada didn't pick, okay, Shayanarti, we just randomly pick at 7:15. No, it's very scientific. This is the time where eternally Krishna is doing his dressing pastime between 6 to 8:30. The Mangalarti, the Nisha Anta, it is the time where Krishna is returning back and kind of to the, and the night is ending. Vibhava Rishesha Aloka Pravesha Nidra Chhadi Utho Jiva Bolo Hari Hari Mukunda Murari Rama Krishna Hayagriva. So the night has come to an end. And so all these, the Shayanarti, which happens around 8 or 8:15. So this is the time that the Shayan Leela is happening. Mother Yashoda gives again bath. Krishna is coming, covered with dust. So he's giving bath. Oh, sorry, she's giving bath. She's dressing. And the night time, the pujaris are also dressing the deities for the Shayan or sleeping. So Krishna spends time with family or whatever, dinner and some fun things, some what happened in the daytime, like when kids come back, we ask them, oh, how was your school today? So Krishna would tell how he was playing with his friends and doing different pastimes, etc. So basically family time. And at the same time, like getting ready, wearing the night dress, and he's having a nice fan. And finally, what? Pradosha Leela, early night. Mother Yashoda tells bedtime stories to Krishna. And there are so many stories in this regard about Mother Yashoda would tell, sometimes Narsingha Leela, sometimes, well, Rama Leela, sometimes some ghost stories, or ghost will come if you don't sleep. So such beautiful pastime. And then Krishna would act like sleeping, but now he would skip away. He would slip away, sorry. He would slip away out to go and meet his dear gopis. And then the Nisha Leela from 10:30 till morning 3:30. The Ras Leela would continue to happen with the Radharani and the gopis. These are the also called as Ashtakaliya Leela, or the 8 phases. These are the eternal Leelas where Krishna is performing with his different rasas, all the different rasas, the friendship, the Vatsalya, the Dasya, Sakhya, Madhurya, all the rasas are. Because who is God? God is the supreme enjoyer. Bhoktaram Yajnatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He doesn't need to worry about work. He doesn't need to worry about paying the Wi-Fi bill and the phone bill. He is the supreme enjoyer. He doesn't need to worry about taxes. He is the supreme proprietor. And he's the supreme enjoyer. So, any thoughts, comments on this?
I'd like to say that hearing these pastimes are so enriching and confirming our faith in the Supreme Lord and his eternal consort, Srimati Radharani. I heard Prabhupada say that Mangalarti was so important and that all the devotees should rise by 4 and attend the Mangalarti. And he said, why is it so important? He said, because Radha and Krishna have been enjoying sporting pastimes all evening. And so the end of those pastimes come at Mangalarti, and Krishna and Radha and Krishna are in their night clothes, a very, very simple attire. And so Prabhupada said that they especially want to greet their devotees to close up those evening pastimes with Mangalarti. So very instructive. And also it reminded me of when Srila Prabhupada would speak on cassette tapes. It was 1971. And so every time a cassette arrived at the temple, we'd all gather round and the devotees would play it and listen to it. We'd play it like 2 or 3, 4 times.
Wow.
And so then in one lecture, it was like, I think it was a room conversation. So Prabhupada, the Kṛṣṇa book had just been released, just in a few months ago. And so Prabhupada said, how important Kṛṣṇa book is. We had Back to Godheads, and then we had Bhagavad Gita, then we had Kṛṣṇa book. So it was really amazing. So Prabhupada said on this lecture, he said, so I want you to go to Mangalarti. He said, and if you miss Mangalarti, then I want you to distribute one Kṛṣṇa book. And then he said, is that all right? And the devotees were screaming and clapping and saying, yes, Prabhupada, that's how important it was. He was playfully encouraging us to, wake up early and go to Mangalarti. And so the deities could, this was their concluding of the evening pastimes and starting into the morning pastimes. So it was quite extraordinary. And so I hope somebody will send me a few cases of Kṛṣṇa book because I need to distribute them. Thank you. Haribol.
What did you say last, Mataji? Somebody was sent? Somebody would send, I missed that. Can you please repeat? I can't hear you. Unmute. Okay. Thank you so much, Mother Sacharya, for sharing those sweet pastimes of Srila Prabhupada and re-emphasizing the importance of Mangalarti. And it is for our physical health, mental health, emotional health, and most importantly, spiritual health. Very, very helpful, and to get up early and chant. Well, begin is half done. And I'm sure all of us can attest to it when we begin our day early and it's like 7, 7:30 and 8, and our good rounds are, we have chanted, we have done the arti, we have taken a bath, we have performed some worship, and we feel like, wow, I'm now ready to face any battle. Has anyone felt that? Now I can face anything in the world. So it's beautiful. So I hope you all relished this. Thank you again for joining. We'll pause here and continue tomorrow. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Jagadguru Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaur Bhaktavinda ki jai. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, Jai Śrīla Prabhupada, Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, Mataji was saying that last part was like somebody needs to send her the Kṛṣṇa books so she can distribute it, implying that she has not gotten to the Mangalarti. That's what I understood from.
Okay.
Well, you know, as a young person in 1970s, we all went to Mangalarti no matter what. You never missed Mangalarti. But then as I got older and I had children and family, then I got overwhelmed. And now I find that I'm in old age, that it's very hard to get up. So what I do is I attend the Mangalarti online. There's a, 4:30 a.m. because I just don't feel well enough to get to the temple. So I listen to the Mayapur.tv and I attend Mangalarti online with Radhakala Chanji and the devotees. And then there's another arti at 6:30 a.m. from Los Angeles. And then Slavas Prabhu gives the morning announcements. And then there's a class in New Vrindavan at 7 a.m. our time. And then there's class in Houston or Dallas, 7:45. And then again, there's Los Angeles. So it's a very, you can be surrounded with Kṛṣṇa consciousness. But I have missed Mangalarti.
I can't hear her. Mataji got disconnected to something. We're very grateful that Mother Sacharya was able to join us today. We'll say 3 times Haribol to her for joining and expressing her gratitude and all her service in the last almost 50 years. Just steady devotee and such a wonderful disciple of Srila Prabhupada. Very, very grateful for your association. So we'll say 3 times to express our gratitude towards Mother Sacharya. Haribol!
Haribol, Haribol, Haribol.
Haribol. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Good night.